So she is saying, Parashakti, you are appearing as the body of Shiva. Your bosoms represent the sun and the moon. Therefore, I consider you as the purest form of Shiva himself, because between you and Shiva, there is no difference. The 9 primary and secondary characteristics are common to both of you. Navatmanam Tvam. And both of you remain in a state of complete interdependency, resulting in blissful state. So what he's saying here, don't bother to worship Shiva. You worship her, it is enough. Because she is nothing but Shiva alone. Shiva also. He is Shiva. He is very categorically saying here, there is no difference. They are not 2 different entities or energies, as most people are contemplate. They are one. So, it is believed, this is a story, I don't know if it is true, that Shankaracharya was meditating on Shiva, and he kept on getting the vision of Parashakti. So he asked Devi, Mother, I need to see your husband. Please move out of the way. So he said, how can I move out of the way if you are worshipping me only? It is because you are worshipping me that I am appearing in front of you. So what do you mean? And she transformed into Shiva. I am the same. So when he was meditating deeply, so one of the causes of Soundarya Lahari itself is apparently this, that she is the Vimarsha of the Shiva Prakash. Shiva is light. He is the reflection. Now, can you take away light and its reflection? The light, you can perceive light only because of reflection. Can you understand that in simple physics? Simple physics. Light kisi cheez ke upar girti hai, then it is reflected into my eye, and then only I can see. If there is something that does not reflect light, I cannot see it. Correct? But if there is no light, there is no reflection also. Now, what happens is, you see, as we evolve in this world, when we are small children, we are dependent. We are dependent. Somebody has to clean our clothes when we dirty them. Somebody has to feed us. Somebody has to hold our hands until an age where we are given money, and without that money, we cannot survive, or without that food being earned by somebody else, we cannot survive. That is called the state of dependency. Then, post-teenage, the child starts going to get employment, or starts working, or starts earning, and thinks itself to be independent. So there is a growth from dependence to independence. And then at a particular time and age, the person gets married. Now what happens? Actually, so jokingly say, oh, then he becomes a child again and he becomes dependent. But jokes apart, what happens is you now create interdependence, which is a higher level of evolution, a higher level of existence. That highest level of existence called interdependence is being expressed here by the state of Devi and Shiva being the same. Ubhaya sadharanataya. Ubhaya, both, sadharanataya. You are both in the state, and this interdependence, what does it cause? It causes bliss. It causes bliss. And in that bliss, therefore, when we worship Shiva, when we worship Devi, we reach Shiva, we reach the sources of light, which is both reflection and the Prakasha and the Vimarsha. And therefore, see, can you separate the diamond from its shine? Sri Thakur used to always ask this. He said, how is Shakti different from Shiva? Oh, one is the diamond, the other is the shine. Let me worship them separately. Not possible. Right? The heat and light of fire are inherent characteristics of fire. Similarly, Shakti is an inherent characteristics of Shiva. So then question comes, yes, Sitaji.
Please request you to go through the individual meanings very quickly, because it's not in the recording. So
I'll do that.
that's
Yes.
Second question I had. So here, Bhagavati, you mentioned Bhagavati being like Bhagamalini, wearing a garland of.
Yes.
Is this the same Bhagavati that we see in Kerala?
Okay, good. Let me first do the individual word meanings. Shariram, body. Tvam, your. Shambho, Shiva. Tashi, Mihira, moon and sun. Vakshoruha, breasts, bosoms. Yugam, the pair. Tavatmanam, the body. Your body. Atmanam here, meaning body, because Atmanam normally is never used for body, but in the case of Devi, there is no difference between body, manas, buddhi, etc., etc. It is one unit. We have three units which are playing around, body, mind, intellect, which are playing around. She does not have that separation. Tavatmanam, your body. Manye appears to be Bhagavati. Bhagavati, she is one meaning, she is the determinant of the future, the bhagya of this entire universe. Or another meaning, she is the one who holds the womb, the person who is the womb of this entire universe. Nava Atmanam Anagham. Anagham, pure, without any agha. Agha means sin, or agha means blemish. So without any blemish. Nava Atmanam, 9 characteristics. Ata, therefore, Sesha, Sheshi, Iti, the primary, this, Iti, this, primary and secondary. I am this, Ubhaya Sadharanataya, common to both, Sthita, existing, Sambandha, relationship, Vam, between both of you. Samarasa. Samarasa here means the interdependence. Parananda parayoho, blissful state of being overwhelmed by that in that bliss. That is the meaning of this particular shloka. Now we come to the word Bhagavati and how Devi is worshipped in Kerala. In Kerala, Devi is typically not given individual names. So, Kodangalur Bhagavati, right? So Bhagavati here, by definition, therefore, is the procreatrix, the universal mother. Right? And therefore, they use the word Bhagavati. So it's a generic for mother. Bhagavati is mother because only the mother will have a womb and she is the one who produces. And hence, they will say Bhagavati for all the Devis over there. That is, it's a generic term that is being used. So they prefix the place name in front of the Devi, and therefore they put it as just exactly as just now I said, Chenganur Bhagavati, Kodangalur Bhagavati, right? So this is how they put that name. There are some temples which have very specific Devi manifestations. Priyaji comes from a particular place where the Devi has been manifested in the form of Annapurneshwari. So there is a specific manifestation. In generally, however, in Kerala, they just address us as mother. So Devi Bhagavati, right? Okay, so coming back, now what are these 9 characteristics? So when you look at the 9 characteristics in Shiva, they are supposed to be the primary and secondary characteristics which are same to both of them. In Shiva, they are called Shiva, Sadashiva, Ishvara, Vidya, Maya, Kala, Niyati, Purusha, Prakriti. Shiva, Sadashiva, Ishvara, Vidya, Maya, Kala, Niyati, Purusha, and Prakriti. Contextually, however, Acharya is not speaking of them. He is here speaking of Kala, Kula, Nama, Jnana, Chitta, Nada, Bindu, Kala, and Jiva. Kala and Jiva. So let me explain these one by one. The first is called Kala. Kala, all the smallest nimisha, the smallest particle of time to kalpanta, right? These are the manifestations of time. So they are called the Kala Vyuha of Shiva. Vyuha means manifestation, characteristic. So Kala Vyuha. So Chandra, Surya being measurers of time, we use them to measure time. Therefore, they are also included in this. Kala. Kula. Kula means the samuha of various groups of people. Then the Nama. Nama here means identification of a particular thing can only happen when you have a specific sanya. Sanya meaning noun attached to it. Right? When I say table, in your mind immediately one figure comes, rupa comes. Right? You can think of a table, whatever your table may be, triangular, round, octagonal, square, but you can think of a table. You're not thinking of the word table. Immediately an image comes. So what has happened? Nama has been, the rupa has been fixed to a particular nama. So that is a manifestation of nothing but Shiva. Jnana, the Savikalpa, Nirvikalpa, Rupa Jnana forms the Jnana Vyuha. Right? So Savikalpa, that which allows some changes to happen, that which knowledge which allows no changes to happen. So Vidya, Avidya we have seen, right? All of that combined together forms into the Jnana Rupa of Shiva. So that is the Jnana Rupa. Then, sorry, just one second. Yeah. Then we have Chitta. Chitta means the Antakarana. The Antakarana, Buddhi, Manas, the Ahankara, all of this combined is the Chitta. Nada. Nada is, we have seen 4 types of Nada. I have spoken about this earlier. Paranada, Pashyanti Nada, Madhyamanada, Nada, and Vaikari Nada. Vaikari is what I am doing right now, speaking, when you are hearing. Right? Before that, there was Madhyama, where the words formed in my mind, but they have not yet been spoken. Pashyanti, I can see the mantra, but I can see it, I can manifest it in my mind, but I have not yet formulated the words. And Para, it exists only in the form of unmanifested sound. All of this is called Nada. Bindu. Bindu is the dot which centers into all the Shat Chakra. So basically it says Mooladharadi Shat Chakra Vyuha is called Bindu Vyuha. Then Kala. Kala means all the Panchashat Varnas, the 56 Varnas that form is the Kala. And all the Bhokta Jivatmas together in this entire universe, they are also nothing but Shiva, and therefore all the Bhokta Jivatmas is the Jiva Vyuha. So these are the 9 manifestations of Shiva. Now, if you have seen all these 9 manifestations, what have we covered? We have covered the entire universe. Right? Now, we also know that the entire universe is what? Is Prakriti. So if the entire universe is Prakriti and the Vyuhas of Shiva are nothing but the entire universe of Prakriti, then by logic, Shiva and Shakti are the same. Right? Another way of expressing this, the 9 Vyuhas, is the 9 triangles in the Sri Yantra. There are 4 upward pointing triangles. Right? The 4 upward pointing triangles, they are in the Sri Chakra. They are Vama, Jeshtha, Raudri, Ambika. They are the upward pointing triangles. The downward pointing triangles, Icha, Jnana, Kriya, Shanta, Para. The 5 downward pointing Shakti Chakras. Together, they are 9 attributes. Right? Vama, Jeshtha, Raudri, Ambika. Upward, downward, Icha, Jnana, Kriya, Shanta, Para. Together, 9. If you look at all these 9, they are nothing but Shiva and Shakti in union. They are in union through the 9 triangles. This is therefore, their attributes are not independent, but they are interdependent. Later on, we will see many more shlokas in the Soundarya Lahari which talk about their unity. Now, the moment they are united, they are in bliss. It is only in the Ashtavakra Gita, it beautifully says, it is asked, what is avidya? He says, avidya is that which keeps me separate from you. That which keeps me separate from you and makes me think that you and I are different. But the moment I come to a point where you and I are no longer different, but we are the same, immediately there is an outburst of bliss that happens. This outburst of bliss, when Shiva and Shakti unite in that permanent state of interdependence, They are always in that permanent state of bliss. Now, what does this mean for us? It means that when we worship Devi and we approach her with that humility, and we approach her with that understanding that she is the source of everything that is happening with me. It is not me at all. I don't do anything. I don't even breathe. Even my breathing is her. She is playing with me. And she's making me breathe. She's making me breathe out. Praneti Om, Apaneti Om. Every time I'm breathing in Om, I'm breathing out, it is Om. Then what happens? You are in bliss. This shloka is meant to, currently there is a prayoga for this. There is a prayoga and a yantra for each of the 100 shlokas. I told you in the beginning itself, I will not teach you those. It is completely irrelevant. But each of these, they have a prayoga. So this has a yantra, and then it also has a prayoga, and you are supposed to do soak moong dal, and you do this mantra for some 16 lakh times or 16,000 times or some number, and you have to do that every day. When you do that for a number of times, and you have to offer soaked moong dal as naivedyam, and then you have to eat that soaked moong dal, and so on and so forth. Then you will be freed from a lot of diseases which occur because of water in the body. So I was doing a little bit of research, and it says that if you eat raw moong dal, then it actually reduces the amount of water retention in the body automatically. So these prayogas were all thought through in terms of Ayurveda also.
Yeah, from the Ayurvedic perspective, anyway, moong dal is meant to be clearing all the three doshas also.
Correct. So hence, he says here, Acharya says here, that when we do this worship, we are looking at, Acharya doesn't bother about the body, right? When he is saying that Viprata, Pumsatvam in Viveka Chudamani, he is not indicating that the person should be born in a Brahmin family, should be a male, and so on and so forth. Nothing of that sort, because if he is indicating that it is in the body, then he is defeating his own purpose of saying that Advaita means that this body, this is nothing but play. And therefore, he wrote this beautiful work called Manisha Panchakam. Right? I would like all of you to study that if you find time. Manisha Panchakam is a story where the Chandal comes. Acharya was going to the Ganges to take a bath, and the Chandal was coming with his dogs. And some of his Sishyas, they said, "Hey, Rasta chodo, Rasta chodo." And the Chandal stood there and said, I would like to know who is asking this question, who is to be moved, the body, which is made of Panchatattwas, same as you, or the Atman, which is all pervading. And the Acharya fell flat over there, did Namaskara. And whether this actually occurred or not, we don't know. But Acharya falling flat in front of a Chandal, nahi ho sakta hai. So this Chandal was actually Shiva. He came in the form of Shiva came, and then, you see, we want to justify, right? We want to justify. Look at the greatness of Acharya. Look at the work he has said. I don't care whether that person is a Chandal or whether he is the Uchchakoti Brahmin. If such a person who has that consciousness, he is my Guru. Acharya says that in his own words.
He composes the Nirvana Shatakam, no?
No. Nirvana Shatakam was his first composition. Sorry, not his first composition. It was his second composition. First composition is Kanakadhara Stotram. Second composition is Nirvana Shatakam. Nirvana Shatakam was composed when he went to Govindapada, Bhagavat Sri Govindapada, and Govindapada asked him, "Who are you?" So he answered, "Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham." 8 साल का बच्चा, 8 years old, answering a 60-year-old Acharya of Advaita, of the purest Advaitic learning. Who are you? I am nothing but Manobuddhi Hankar Chittani Naham. I am not the mind, I am not the Ahankar, I am not the body, I am nothing but Shivananda, Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham. That Chidananda Rupa can be approached, can be reached by us. We are not Shankaracharya, we are not Shiva come down to re-establish Dharma. For us, the Jivatmas, the Bhogatmas, I wouldn't even call Jivatma. We are all Bhogatmas. All the Bhogatmas, for us, the way is to worship Devi and to surrender completely the ego. When we surrender our ego, when we surrender, and we have to understand, nothing other than our ego is ours. मेरा सिर्फ मेरा ईगो है. शरीर कहां से आया? वो उधार. You took it on loan and you have to give it up, right? Manas kahan se aaya? Samskaron se aaya. Somebody gave it to you. Samskar. Intellect kahan se aaya? Buddhi kahan se aaya? Or acharyas gave it to you. You everything you acquired. You did not have anything of your own. You had only one thing. I and then mine. Aham, mama. To get rid of this, Soundarya Lahari is a beautiful path. So in that, we have to see also from Soundarya Lahari, Samarasya Parayana. Samarasya Parayana. Name number 792. Name number end in the second last name. We know Shiva Shakti Aikya Rupini. Shiva Shakti Aikya Rupini Ai Namaha. Right? She is nothing but Shiva and Ananda. If Chit is Shiva, Ananda is Shakti. Chidananda means Shiva and Shakti together.
So Shesha Sheshi means again Shiva and Shakti?
Correct. Perfect. Good understanding. So that is the meaning of Shesha Sheshi, the primary and the secondary. Right?
We are talking about the Ardhanarishwara also. We are talking about the interconnectedness, isn't it?
Correct. So Ardhanarishwara again is just for us to understand the oneness, right? So actually, for that matter, we all have the male characteristics. We have female characteristics. Those characteristics, when we combine them, we have oneness. Oneness means Shiva Shakti Aikya Rupini. Right? Now let us look at Kunjika Stotram. Now Kunjika Stotram, we saw in the last time what Shiva said, right? Shrunu Devi Prabhakshami, Kunjika Stotram Uttamam, etc., etc. We saw that, right? So just let me increase the size. Yeah. Shrunu Devi Prabhakshami, Kunjika Stotram Uttamam, Yena Mantra Prabhavena, Chandi Japa, Shubho Bhavet, and so on and so forth. We saw those four. After that, the mantra has to be told. Now, the mantra, I'm telling you the mantra, but please don't write it down. And at this point, I'm not going to do the recording also. It's not supposed to be said. Then the rest of the stotra can be learned. So today we will learn the 3 slokas that go along with the Kunjika stotra. Namaste Rudra Rupinyai, Namaste Madhumardini, Namaste Rudra Rupinyai, Namaste Madhumardini, Nama Kaitavaharinyai, Namaste Mahishamardini, Mahishardini, Namah Kaitavaharinyai, Namaste Mahishardini. So the shloka is Namaste Rudra Rupinyai, Namaste Madhumardini, Namah Kaitavaharinyai, Namaste Mahishardini. I'll explain the shloka one by one. Namaste Shambhuhantreicha Nishumbhasura Ghatini. Namaste Shumbhahantreicha Nishumbhasura Ghatini. Jagratam hi Mahadevi Japam Siddham Kurushvame. Jagratam hi Mahadevi Japam Siddham Kurushvame. Aimkari Srishti Rupayai. Aimkari Srishti Rupayai. Rimkari Pratipalika. Rimkari Pratipalika. Klimkari Kamarupinyai. Bijarupe Namostute. Klimkari Kamarupinyai. Bijarupe Namostute. Namaste Rudra Rupinyai. Rudra. Rudra is the angry form of Shiva. In the Rig Veda, in the Yajurveda, both in the Rig Veda and the Yajurveda, Shiva is addressed as Rudra. So in the Rudram, the first stanza says that please cast away your anger. Rudro yute sahasra yojane tanmane bahu, etc., etc. So 1,000 yojanas you throw away your anger. Let me be away from your anger. right? He is supposed to be angry. He is Ashu Kopi. Ashu Kopi. His name is Ashu Kopi. Kopa means anger. Ashu means very easily. But he is also Ashu Toshi. Right? He becomes pleased also very easily. So Rudra Rupinye, Rudrinnye, Rudra Rupinye or Rudrinnye here means she who is displaying anger. Namaste Madhu Mardini. Madhu. And the next person, and next is Kaitava Harini. Madhu and Kaitava were the two Danavas we have seen in the first chapter. In the first chapter or the first part, Prathama Bhaga of the Saptashati, it is Madhu Kaitava Vadha. The second chapter or the second part is Mahishasura Vadha. And the third part is the Shumba Nishumba Vadha. So similarly here, if you see, it is in sequence of that particular sequence here. The first is Madhu Kaitava. Then the Stotrakar says Mahishardini, so the killing of Mahishasura, and then Shumbahantri Nishumbhasura Ghatini, killer of Nishumbha. And then he says Jagratam hi Mahadevi. Jagratam here means she who is completely awake. By your being awake, Jagratam hi Mahadevi, Japam Siddham Kurushvame. Make this japa of this mantra that I have taken here, Kunjika Mantram, please make it successful. Make the japa successful. Right? This mantra that we just now recited, it is called the Navakshari mantra. Right? It is the second mantra that is normally given, third mantra which is normally given in the Sri Vidya Upasana. The first mantra is generally called the Ganapati mantra. First you have to obviously worship Ganapati. Then the second is called Bala mantra. And the third is the Navakshari mantra. Then after that, Panchadashi mantra, which I have shared a number of times, Kaya, etc., etc. That is the Panchadashi mantra. After the Panchadashi mantra, you add one more letter and it becomes the Shodashi mantra. Then it carries on. From there, there is no end. Mahashodashi, Ati Mahashodashi, etc., etc., Parashodashi, and so on and so forth. There are different schools which have different types of mantras. The central mantra is the mantra which we just now, the Chamunda mantra, the Navakshari mantra. It central mantra hai. And therefore, it's a very powerful mantra, which is now being explained. Aim is the creator roop. Aim Srishti Rupai. Aimkari Srishti Rupai. Reemkari Pratipalika. She who takes care. She who sustains. Klimkari Kama Rupini. She is the Kama Bija also. Klimkari Kama Bija. And therefore, all the Bijakshara, you are the form that you have is in the mantra form. Bijakshara Rupa. Bija Rupe Namoste. Namaste Rudra Rupinyai Namaste Madhumardini Namaste Kaitapaharinyai Namaste Mahishardini Namaste Shambhuhantre Cha Nishumbhasura Ghatini Jagratam hi Mahadevi Japam Siddham Kurushvame Aimkari Srishti Rupai Rimkari Pratipalika Klimkari Kama Rupinyai Bija Rupa Namostute. With this accent, that force, this has to be recited. So when we recite the first part, when Shiva is explaining, we have to explain like a teacher. Right, the bhava or the mental recitation, or even when you are doing it orally, Kunjika should be recited loudly, not loudly as in shouting, but in Vaikari Rupa. So when you are reciting it, then the first part is recited very calmly, like a teacher explaining to a student. Then when the mantra itself is recited, see when you in school, when you are told to recite a poem, then you don't recite a poem without the emotion, right? Right. All in the valley of death wrote the 600, right? We had that poem, so you have to put that emotion inside. That emotion has to come here. Therefore, that when she is Nishumbhasura Ghatini, right? That effect must come when in your mind also. Then that mind rests on her. So it's a very short. Yeah, please.
In that, the last three words, the Aim, Hreem, and Kleem, it is
Correct.
also covering the three of them. That is Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva too. Is it not?
No. Not Shiva. Brahma, Vishnu, and Kamadeva. Kleem is the Kama Bija. Why is Shiva not considered? Very simple. Because she is Shiva herself.
She's Shiva.
Right. So can we end the class? Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.